Out of the search for Nancy Guthrie, the Pima County Sheriff says he believes Nancy Guthrie is being held close to her home. Here is more of what he told our partners at the BBC.
I could sit here and tell you, boy, we'll never solve this case. And then the next day we solve it. Here's one that I go, man, I wish we could solve it in the next 10 minutes. It may be the next 10 days, the next 10 months, or worse.
Wow, the next 10 months or worse. Andres Gutierrez, as he has been for so many days, faithfully at his post in Tucson. What's the latest?
Major, there have been no huge developments here on day 18 of the search. However, we are getting some of the nuances in this very complex investigation. This afternoon, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says that the only video that we have seen that the FBI shared with us of that man at Nancy Guthrie's front door is the only usable and video that the engineers over at Google have been able to recover. There are additional cameras here from her property. One we saw getting plucked from the rooftop by FBI agents on Friday the 6th. They are still working to try to see if there's any usable video. They are hopeful that the very smart engineers over at Google will be able to help them do that and extract video that they can share with the public and hopefully help them churn up additional leads. They have not ruled out that the person that you saw in that doorbell video didn't work without an accomplice. So they believe that this person may have also had a second individual who ended up snatching Nancy in the middle of the night. Another big name that law enforcement are working with is Walmart. They are trying to identify the man in that video by what he had. We know that the backpack, that black Ozark Trail hiker backpack, is sold exclusively at the retail giant. Authorities say that the company has turned over purchase records with names, and so detectives are right now cross-referencing dates, stores, and transactions. FBI agents are also visiting local gun stores here in Tucson, trying to identify where that guy bought that firearm and that holster that he had close to his groin, not by his side. And a lot of firearms experts saying that it just shows how much of an amateur he was in carrying out this crime. There is also DNA evidence that was found inside Nancy's house that doesn't belong to her or her relatives. And so they're trying to figure out who it does belong to. And perhaps they could eventually enter that into CODIS, the national FBI database, as well as commercial genealogy databases. But as we've learned over the years, a lot of these genealogy companies have changed their policies, and it makes it tougher for law enforcement to access their database without a subpoena, Major.
Andres, one other question. This proximity matter looms very large. The sheriff told the BBC he believes that Nancy Guthrie is being held alive nearby. Of course, Tucson, very close to the Mexico border. There's been lots of speculation. Could she have been secreted across that border, and what implications there might be for law enforcement in that scenario?
Well, Major, folks online have dubbed Nancy Guthrie as America's grandma, but they've also, yes, have been speculating whether she could have been snatched and taken across the border. We are, in fact, just an hour and a half away from Nogales. And so we did reach out to authorities in the state of the Mexican state of Sonora. The federal the prosecutor's office there and their public security agency told us that they have not been contacted to assist in this investigation. We also reached out to the country's federal security agency, and they say they have not received a request to assist in this investigation. Here stateside, we have pinged the FBI this afternoon to see what they know, and we are still waiting to hear back from them at this hour, Major.
Always with the details. Andres Gutierrez, thank you so very much from Tucson.